tell us a little bit about your case, a case which shows that even very sophisticated legal practitioners, financial services professionals are not protected, are not immune to this online fraud?
Well, I noticed on my bank statement last October that 2 online payments had been made on the same day for £40, but that was not app fraud. That was the sort of ordinary fraud where someone clones your card or pinches your card and makes a few online payments before you can cancel the card. Then in March, I was contacted by a caller on my mobile number who said my account had been compromised, that he represented Santander's fraud investigations team. They thought that it was possible that customer details were being sold or disclosed from within the bank to fraudsters for this purpose. And in order to facilitate their investigation, could I move money from my account with them to named and number accounts with Barclays, which I did. And then the same thing happened again in April, where twice the amount, in fact, was transferred in April to a different bank, which trades as Cash Plus Bank. So the totality of it was £30,000.
It's a huge amount of money, Jane, to anybody. And what really, I have to say it again, you're a lawyer by training. You're a very sophisticated person. You've got a background in the financial world, no less. And the fact that even you were duped by this, I must say, a lot of people would feel ashamed. The fact that you did fight your case, you did get your money back from Santander. You contacted me to highlight this case. You do want to speak out to prevent this happening to other people. I must say, Jane, it's to your credit that you're doing that, and more power to your elbow. You also have a concern, don't you, about the attitude of the banks in general, notwithstanding that you did eventually get your money back from Santander.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that the principal wrongdoers in all of this are, of course, the fraudsters themselves. But that's not much comfort once your money has gone, because these people hardly ever get caught. The simplest way to stop APP fraud is just to hang up on anybody who you may feel is not genuine. And the banks say that is exactly what they warn customers to do. But those warnings are clearly not cutting through, given the increase in the magnitude of this fraud. And when it comes to claims for compensation or for recompense from the banks, although there is a code which most banks have signed up to, the tendency seems to be to try to shift the blame onto the victim for failing to protect themselves, whereas in fact I would argue that the banks have very sophisticated systems for detecting suspicious activity on customers' accounts, and should not simply execute these instructions, even though they look as though they've been authorised by a customer. If there's something suspicious or unusual, their legal duty is to act as an ordinary prudent banker would, and that means they're on inquiry, they hold off on the payment until they've satisfied themselves that it is genuine and it hasn't been prompted by fraudulent activity.
Well, Jane, you are an astonishingly articulate person. It's been quite a journey for you. Again, I salute your efforts to bring this to public notice, not just to sweep it under the carpet. Now, through your skill and persistence, you've managed to get your money back. Santander, your bank, aren't here. We did ask them to appear. I should read out a statement from them, and I will do that now before we move on to our other guests. We have the utmost sympathy, says Santander, for anyone who falls victim to the criminals who carry out these scams. We would urge customers not to automatically believe someone is who they say they are. Always validate independently who you're speaking to. before making a payment. And if you're unsure, call your bank using the number on the back of your card or by dialing 159.